Hey guys, so tonight I wanted to do another video kind of like the Huda Beauty Mercury retrograde palette video that I did, where I kind of just use an eye palette and do an eyeshadow look. I know it's a crazy concept, right? But since I've had like a bunch of really long videos lately and like the full faces that I'm kind of like planning on doing and the makeup collection, like there's a bunch of videos that I'm planning to film that are going to be relatively longer. So I figured these would be fun to just kind of pop in here and there, and they would be a little bit quicker. So anyways, today I want to play around with the Pat McGrath's Divine Rose palette again. I've only played around with it once, which is insane. And I also got the second version. So this is the first, and then this is the second. So they are definitely different enough to be like two different palettes, but they definitely have like similar vibes, I guess. So I think for this video, I'm going to stick to using all of like the special shades from the original Divine Rose palette, because I know a couple of y'all have this and I don't want to like make an eye look that y'all can't recreate if you want to. But I am going to go into a couple of the matte, well, the only mattes that are in here, just this color here and then this one here, but y'all could totally use like whatever shades that are similar to these in whatever other palette that you have. So just wanted to throw that out there. I do want to put down some of the Too Faced Peach Concealer on my eyelids again. I'm not sure like what I was expecting with this. I was just a little bit iffy on it because I heard that it was coming out. Everybody was excited about it. And then I just didn't really hear anything else about it. So I figured it kind of just sucked and nobody wanted to say it. But when I used it last time for an eye primer, it worked really well. So we're gonna try it out again. So first off, I think I am gonna go into the lightest shade in the Divine Mothership 1. So it is this kind of, I don't know, it's really hard for me to describe the shade. I wanted to say that it was kind of like a pinky color, but it's more of a mauve-y type of shade. I wanna go in with that first after I set my lid, because I really don't need anything sticking, and these are so pigmented. I can see them being kind of a pain to blend out on like a really tacky base. Alright, sorry if things look different. I just realized I had no eyeshadow brushes up here, which was going to be a problem. So I decided this was the perfect time to use my bling brushes. These are so freaking beautiful. I'm obsessed with them, and I just washed all of them. So I'm going to set my lid down with the Makeup Forever powder foundation, just like right in the crease here. Now I'm going to take this really fluffy brush. This is a very big blender, if you can tell. Like, it's bigger than what I would usually use, but I just want to take just a tiny bit of this lightest shade and throw that down first. Wow, I always forget how insanely pigmented these are. It's already blending out really easily. So I know I've done a video using this palette once before, but to be completely honest with you, I don't really remember what I did. So I'm hoping I don't just like recreate the exact same look that I did before. Probably should have like looked that up, and I did look at like the thumbnail of it, but you know. Alright, now that I have just a little bit, like such a small amount of that shade laid down, now that I'm looking at my other makeup, it looks so like splotchy and not good. I didn't do like what I normally do for my face. I just put on a little bit of concealer and then powder foundation and like bronzer and blush and all that. But I don't know. At first I thought I was liking it, and now I'm seeing it in this light and I'm having second thoughts. Anyway, just focus on my eyes. How about that? I actually might scoot this in a little bit more. Alright, I think I might actually be settled with everything that I need to do makeup now. So, let's do this. Now that I have a little bit of that down, you can really barely see it, but that's kind of why I wanted that huge brush. Now I'm going to take a fluffy brush, but not quite as fluffy. This is the E13, and it's one of my favorite brushes of theirs, like, period. I love it. Now I am going to go into this kind of peachy shade here, and normally I really would not do this, but because it is just like a peachy shade, I feel like you could almost just use like your blush for this, so I might kind of play around with that and then update y'all in another video. But I am going to go in with this shade now and focus this right in my crease. I just want this to warm it up a bit because the two matte shades in the Divine Rose 1 palette are pretty darn cool toned. So I do think like using your blush or using basically any other peachy shade that you have is going to do the exact same thing that this is, because it's really just adding a little bit of warmth into my crease. You could also do it with your bronzer. I really don't think it matters. I think when it comes to looks with these kind of palettes, like the shimmers is really where they stand out. I'm going to build this up a little bit more, and I am in like such a weird mood today. I'm not really sure what it is. It's not like anything in particular has happened to put me in it, but it's not even like a bad mood. It's just weird and strange, and I don't know what it is. So if I'm off or acting kind of weird, that's why. Not that I have a reason for it, so I'm really not giving you any explanation for anything at all, and I'm really just rambling because I'm not sure if I have talked to adults today. Yes, I did talk to adults today, but it was not like, I definitely could have gone without talking to those adults, I'll just say that. Some people, I'm telling you, like, I don't understand why they want to live their life like miserable. I will never understand it, and I don't get why they just have to make everything about them. It drives me absolutely bonkers. Okay, now that that is all warmed up, these two corner shades are the shades I can go into. Well, the two like deeper shades that I have to go into. And I think I want to go in with the one that is in the Divine Rose 2. And I'm sorry, but I don't think this is like a spectacular color or anything like that. I really just, I want some of this shade. You know, like it's not, I'll swatch it so you can see like what it looks like on its own. I'll swatch the other one too. That probably would be helpful, but they're nothing like crazy special. It's a rich brown and like a tan peachy color. So I'm sorry, I feel bad for using both because I know most people are not going to have both, because I'm absolutely crazy to have both. So I am going to go in with this deeper shade here right on my outer corner. I don't really want to do like a halo eye, but I want to bring it pretty far in anyway, just like for the depth of it. That just deepened it up so quick. I'm going to put a little more out on my outer corner and just kind of like pat that on and run it up in my crease really, really low. Like, I don't want this to get too high because I feel like it kind of took over the rest of the shades. So I'm going to go back in with the more peachy shade now and just layer this back up on top of it. Alright, this just got pretty like deep and smoky real quick. So now I do have a little more of this shade added right up in here. I think next it is time to go into the beautiful shimmery shades, which of course is my favorite part of using this palette, or these palettes. Honestly, if I just put like that dark shade on my entire lid, I feel like this would be such a pretty matte look, but it's this palette, we gotta use the shimmers. I am gonna place down the peachy shade across my lid though, so they have a little something to stick to, and I can kind of blend these together a bit. Okay, now let's see. I can close the number 2 palette for now, and these are what we are working with. So I know I've talked about these before, and there is definitely something very special about these. It's not just like a glitter or a metallic shade. It really is like, it's just a different kind of formula, I guess, and I have not run into anything like it anywhere else. The closest thing I think that I have to these are the Rowan Beauty shades, just because they're so different, you know, like they're not even that similar when you compare the two of them, but they're both so different that they're like in their own little world. So I need to figure out what I'm going to put where. I think I want to go in with this shade here, maybe. Actually, I think we're going to go in with this shade here. I'm feeling very, very indecisive tonight. I'm trying to figure out like what the big difference between those two are. All right, we're going to go in with this one just pretty much all over my lid, I think. Ooh, that's pretty. Ooh, I don't think I've used this one yet. I think this is a really nice kind of like base metal shimmer shade. I'm not going to call it a metallic because it's not quite there, but it's definitely a shimmer and it lays down really nice and very smooth. Now I just need to figure out like where we're going with this. So there are kind of like 3 different main toppers, if that makes any sense. I feel like it's this one, and this one. I'm just going to swatch them. I'm not sure why I haven't been doing this the whole time. Oh, those are so good. So I want to say I went in with this shade on my first look. So I think we're going to use this one today, and it looks so pretty. So we're going with this one since I'm so indecisive. And I'm going to take that on my finger again, and instead of putting this all over my lid, I'm going to put it mostly right in the middle, I think. So I have a bit of that other kind of shimmer shade showing on either side of this. And I am bringing it up into my crease a bit because with my eye shape, when I open my eyes all the way, it's going to transfer there anyway. So I would rather it like look intentional than not. But that is so pretty. Okay, and now I want to go in with this shade here, just on the very center of my lid. I love this shade. Like if this wasn't a single, I would say buy it because I feel like it can make any look just like wow. Like that just, I don't know, it does something for me. I feel so weird tonight. I don't even know if I'll end up uploading this. Like I do not feel like myself and I do not know what is going on, which is really weird to me. So I am going to put some liner and mascara on, finish up this eye, and then show y'all what the finished looks like. Alright, I just came back on. I did my upper liquid liner and my mascara. I don't know why that was so hard for me to say, but I love the way this looks. I feel like this would be like the perfect date night or even like a really pretty bridal look, like if you kept it just nice and light. I don't know. I like the way those shimmers all layered up. So I'm really happy with the way that this one turned out. But I was thinking, and I feel like I always do this off camera and then I kind of just come back and I'm like, all right, like this is what I did for blah, blah, blah. But I might as well just go ahead and do it on camera since I'm doing it anyway. So I'm going to take the lighter peachy matte shade I was using and I'm going to run that along my lower lash line. So the more I work with this peachy shade, the more I really do think you could use a blush for all of the steps I'm using this for, if that makes sense. Like I think a nice peachy blush would do the exact same thing and give you the exact same effect. So I will definitely like give that a try, and I almost did it on this eye, but I didn't want to like mess everything up if it didn't work out, but I'm pretty sure that it would. So I will like try that out and then I will put in the description whether or not it worked out or not. I just grabbed a tiny bit of, I have hairs flying around everywhere, but I grabbed a tiny bit of that deeper shade and I'm just keeping it super close to my lash line. I think that brings it together so much more. I am keeping this mostly on like the outer half of my eye. And then I'm going to take the blender brush I was using on my crease and dip into that peach one more time and just kind of buff those two together. I'm loving this eye look. I think these two palettes go together so well, and I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about them, but I don't know. I think my like perfect palette would have been if she had put that peachy shade where this is, kept this just like it is, and then maybe like instead of one of like this one or this one, put in this bright pink down there, you know? So I kind of wish this had really just been one palette, or maybe she made a slightly larger 15 pan palette. And yes, I do know that would mean it would be more expensive, which would be absolutely ridiculous, but I don't know. I just feel like having two of these is just kind of strange to me. But I do want to go in with this shade on my inner corner. Alright, I kind of packed that in there, but I really want like a super bright and light inner corner today. I think I want to top this with another shade that's in here. And drag that out down my like tear duct area. Is that what that's called? Like right in here? I don't know. I'm going to take just a teensy tiny bit of this like white looking shade on my brush and pop that on top of it as well. Ooh, that is so pretty. That just kind of gave it like this pinky shift to it. I think this color, I've swatched it before, but apparently I have like the memory of a goldfish. Yeah, it's like, why am I so weird tonight? I'm trying to like hold mirrors and twist hands and whatever. So this shade here, it's really hard to see. I didn't swatch it very well either, but it just looks pretty white in the pan. Then you get it on your skin and it's just like this gorgeous pinky, almost like lilac-y reflect to it. So I think that is the perfect like finishing touch to the eye. I'm going to add a little bit of lower lash mascara and I think we will be all done. So I get that like her palettes are expensive as hell and they should feel expensive, but they're so uncomfortable for me to hold. I really wish like they were in different packaging. I don't know, apparently I'm just kind of, I'm in a very complainy mood tonight, apparently. Sorry guys, y'all are at the shit end of the stick on that one. I love this eye look. Alright, to finish this look up, I'm going to throw on some of George from Lawless. I completely understand why everyone is so obsessed with these Lawless liquid lips. They are so comfortable. So I love this formula. They go on like so soft and smooth and just, I don't know, they don't make your lips look crazy, like yuck, like a lot of liquid lipsticks do. It really doesn't feel like it is drying me out. So I've been really loving this lately and I'm so excited that I did play around with the Pat McGrath, both Divine Rose palettes. I definitely need to be playing around with them more for how expensive they are. But anyways, I'm sorry that I'm such a weirdo tonight. I really do not know what is going on with me and why I'm like talking like I'm a like awkward 12-year-old that doesn't know how to talk to a boy, even though I'm like not even talking to guys. Like what am I doing? I'm just like so weird tonight. I do not know what it is, but whatever. I am going to just leave it here and I hope y'all enjoyed watching. I definitely want to try to kind of dupe this look out because I'm really obsessed with the way that it turned out. And I do think that her shadows and her toppers and the glitter shades, I do think they're all amazing, but I do think that we can probably get a look pretty similar to this using something else. So hopefully one of my next few videos will be like how to dupe my Pat McGrath eyeshadow look or something along those lines. I have no idea what I'll actually call it, but keep a lookout for that if you do not have this palette, but you would like to be able to create this look. So I'm pretty sure this one is not short and sweet like I was intending for it to be, but that's just how my life has been going lately. So I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope y'all are having a great day, night, evening, weekend, whatever it is, wherever you are. I will see you in the next video. Bye.